friends, it's Miss Dawn, and today I just want to tell you what you're going to need to make your paper mache mask. If you are not able to do paper mache, you can still make a mask. So you're going to need some thin cardboard, okay? So these are just cereal boxes that I've cut up, and so you can make it with just that if you needed to. If you remember in the past when we did paper sculpture, you can make your mask in a similar way. What we've done for the paper mache masks that has worked really well over the years is use a jug as the base for your mask form. So if you look at this jug, it has a curve to it so that it could fit around a face. So if you wanted to create a paper mache mask you could actually wear that curves to the shape of your face, this works beautifully. So what you'll need to do is get one of these jugs, they're usually with gallons of milk or even gallons of water. If you don't drink milk or water out of jugs like this, chances are you know somebody that does. Just ask them to save you one or pull one out of the recycle bin. Okay, so these are pretty common, pretty easy to find. I've got a bunch of them in the classroom and even here at home that I use them. I recycle quite a number of my jugs and use them for different purposes. So they make a good little handled container. You can fill it with soil and put plants in it. But in our case, we're going to recycle it to make the base of our paper mache mask. So in order to do that, you need this part, and you need to sort of discard this part with the handle. So what I do is I just cut around like this, okay? So you're going to need some scissors, and you're just going to take it, and I like to start up here at the top, and then I'm just going to cut down, okay, and around, and sort of come across the bottom like this, okay, and then come back around up the side over here, and then I'm going to come back around the top here. All right, and that creates the base for my mask, and you can turn it either way, but it's a shape that will fit over your face. Okay, so the other things you're going to need to gather is you're going to need a newspaper or newsprint. This is a freebie one that I just picked up today. They have them all different places, and so if you don't get a newspaper at home, you can find free newspapers, or maybe you have newsprint paper, or some other thin paper can be used for paper mache. So the cardboard paper is used for building the base of your mask, and I'll talk more about that next time when we actually start building. Today we're just preparing and planning. So this is good for building, and then this newsprint is what you're going to tear into strips and then put onto the base, and that's the part that's going to hold it all together. Okay, so you're going to also need a little bit of tape, and then later on you'll need some paint or something to decorate it with and add some color to it. And again, you can adjust how you make it according to what supplies you have available at your house. Okay, so this week, hopefully you watched the other video that's posted on this slide, and you learned a little bit about the history of masks, just sort of a brief overview with a few examples. Hopefully you've maybe thought about an idea of a mask that you would like to make. So we're not talking, you know, the face mask, we're talking about a mask that would cover all or most of your face. In years past, some people actually did one that sort of covered more of the eyes, like a masquerade mask. Some people had horns or other things coming up from the mask and made it really big. But this is a pretty good starting point if you're able to use this as the base. And so the way paper mache works is you're going to be tearing this into strips and placing it over the base. So the cardboard is more for if you want anything to be sticking out. And again, I'm going to talk more about that. But you might remember when I showed examples, I'm just going to cut this, of the paper sculpture. And I said you might want to have tabs. So I'm just cutting a tab on here really quickly to getting an idea of how you might attach something to your mask. Now, this is way too long. And so I've had students in the past do something like this in class. And if I were you and you wanted something that sticks out like this, I would either reinforce it or make it just a little bit shorter, because when this gets wet with paper mache, it tends to be a little droopy. So you would have to prop it up some way, or like I said, maybe plan on doing something that doesn't stick out quite as much. But the reason I'm showing this to you is the little task. So if this were my mask, I would cut this at some point and create maybe a beak or a snout with it. But again, you don't have to do that today. Today, I just want you to gather up your supplies. If you want to start taping things to this to build your base, you can, or you can wait and do that next time. Okay, so I'll give you a little more instruction on that. I'll also talk about how you could create your mask just with an old box and not have to worry about the paper mache strips and the plastic base. But the paper mache is traditionally how we've made the masks in class. And you should be able to do something similar at home with supplies you have at home. And so, like I said, start by finding one of these jugs, and then you're just going to cut it. And let me just show you how I cut it one more time so you can see that part of it. Okay, so it started off like this. Okay, come back here. And then this part came off. Okay, and then that forms a base for the mask. All right, so I'll get into more detail about prepping that base and alternatives next time. So I hope you enjoyed the videos for this week, and now you have sort of a scavenger hunt finding supplies to get started with making the mask for next time. So good luck finding those supplies that you need, and I'll see you then.